Oh, hey Stella. And the others who have just joined. Um, did any of you guys hear the announcements? Hello. All right, people joining up. Did a Google form show up on Classroom? No. I'm going to post your role and starter on Classroom. Just give me a sec. Post. All right. Hey. Um, yeah. Okay. I know that I've just posted. If you jump back into Classroom, so maybe have that as a second tab. There's a Google form I've posted, and that's going to give me the role, and it's also your starter questions. It's like some multi-choice stuff. Um, yeah, school tomorrow. I didn't actually hear the whole thing, but the the impression I got was that um, students of schools need to be open for students who are children of essential care workers until Wednesday, but I think everyone else shuts tomorrow. But I may be wrong on that one. My thing kind of cut out a little bit. So, what did other people find? Okay, sheepy is rain. Okay, I can work with that. Okay. Yeah, I know. Tomorrow, I think we're just going to put that one on the wait and see category, Amy. Yeah, so alert level 3 is um, only affected schools are closed. Was what I have read, which means we should still be open until Wednesday. Daniel, we're still better off than most. But anyways, click through the starter, guys. I'll bring it up on the screen actually. Let me flick this camera across. There you go. So this is posted in Classroom. Have a little look. It's going to collect your email addresses so I know who's in and who's not. A few little questions. Should be easy. 3 people already done. Nice one, you guys. Well, that's what you called yourself. I'm trying to work out. I think I've changed my stream so that there's less lag. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's cool, eh? It's been held together by glue though. It's all falling apart. It's not very good. Hey, Aurora. Okay, so someone needs to type in something. When I say go, you type it in because I want to time how long it takes before for like the stream to catch up with you guys. Okay, so someone needs to type in. You have to type in banana, Okay, but only press enter when you hear me say go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Aaron. Hmm. Okay, that was what, about 25 seconds? Okay, yeah. I don't know what I can do to make it go less, but it's about 25. It's about 25 seconds delayed from what I do to what you see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's different for everyone. Okay. All right, that's a lot of bananas. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Um, so if you have joined on, don't forget to do the Google form. Nice to see that at least some of you are awake. Um, just so I know who's here and that you kind of have a little think about the science stuff. Um, I don't know. Yeah, it's about 30 seconds. We all went. Yeah, that's true. Yep. So do the form, and obviously things are gonna get like a little bit shuffled around for us now. Like we do have a um, a topic test to do, but I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. I have got some sciencey stuff planned for us. Um, I don't know, and I don't know. It might be hard to I don't know focus on it, but I guess we can't change the situation we're in. So I guess you just use the time that we've got. Yeah. You press the wrong one. You mean for answers? 19 people in the stream, 19 people on the swarm. I guess that's everyone we're going to get. All right, let's have a little look. Okay. Okay, we're mostly awake. Some people are kind of awake. All right, fair enough. Allele is at the misclick, is it? That looks like a chromosome to me. A long piece of DNA with many genes. Allele, different version of a gene. Easy stuff. Genotype. Oh, okay. If you chose the red option, this little guy right here, um, that is what we call a genome. Okay, complete set of DNA is called the genome. Genotype is a combination of alleles, two dominants, two recessives, one of each. Okay. And then what else? Oh yeah, okay. Um, Short-term consequence when an environmental change affects a species with a large amount of genetic variation. Okay, so the idea of this is that hopefully the the features that give the individuals what it takes are already present in some of the individuals. An individual can't spontaneously change to suit the environment. It's really just that hopefully some of the individuals already have what it takes. Okay, so that's a short term, so they survive. Okay, the long term should be that they pass on those alleles, and so that new individuals get born who also have those alleles. Okay, um, there's nothing really intelligent about this process, so the survivors don't make a decision, or there's no control over making the offspring better. It's just that they might inherit the good alleles. That's all it is. Okay. All right. So what I have kind of on the cards for you guys is I need to find my slides. Oh, they're on my other tab. Let me just bring them across. Get this guy coming. There he is. And I've got a little sort of one of these guys for you. Okay. Um, so I think I said that you should bring along your device, but also like have maybe like a pen and paper. Ideally, you'll have that. Okay. Because if I present this, we'll see what's going on. Yeah, we'll present this. Get it back over here. Yoink. Um, Venus flytraps, a kind of funky looking plant, carnivorous plants, is a pretty rare thing. Okay, and they live in poor quality soils, which means they get their nutrients by killing insects and eating them. It's quite clever, really. Okay, but this is about sexual reproduction and the importance of variation. Okay, so where does the variation come from in sexual reproduction? And notice how it says one important process. If you think about sexual reproduction, sorry guys, my bad, is that number one, the alleles between matching chromosomes can be swapped over, and number two, the chromosomes are randomly assorted to make one complete set in the gametes. Like this question didn't need you to do both; it just says one. Okay, and the last point, explain why the variation produced benefits for the plant population over generations. There's a little typo in there. I'm just going to fix it. For the plant population over the gen. Okay. So with a pen and paper, are you happy to have we go at writing that? Let me know. It's cleaning my whiteboard. People are tired? No, some people are tired, some people are not. Yes? Okay. So remember the rules, guys? 10 points words, well, you got to use them, but they'll only count for points first time. Okay? 5-point words will count points twice, so you should use ideally twice each. Yeah? And 2-point words, every time they belong, they go in. Okay? All of it? Yeah, it's one big question, okay, Shelby. Okay? What I need to do quickly just before you start is that sexual reproduction, like it's a 1. So I've got to do it like this. Do this. So that's a 10-pointer as a combo. There we go. Does that make it better? More obvious I do that. Yoink. I kind of wasn't listening. Well, some things never change. Right, so I mean, you can type it if you want to. But I mean, your exams are going to be pen and paper based. Typical Amy. So I recommend you have your 1B5 and you have your pen and you just write out an answer. And there's a couple of final little bits and pieces on variation. Where are they? They're actually backwards a little bit on the slide. Okay. But I think this is probably the best thing to start off with. Yeah, I know that I think everyone's brains is distracted. My brain is quite distracted right now. But I'm not sure if it being distracted really lets me gain anything, you know. So I think the best thing to do is just try and stay on task, really. Yeah. I'm not quite sure how we're going to mark this actually. We could. Hmm, I could make a Google form for you guys to type it in, and I could share the results of the Google form. I'll think about it, okay? But I'll give you about, yeah, let me hold off on the test for now, Daniel, because I'm not quite sure exactly what the next 2 days are going to be like. The test might have to just wait for a while, okay? Kahoot, yeah. The problem with Kahoot and YouTube Live is that it's like a little bit too lagged. So I think if when we do Kahoots, we will use Zoom. Yeah, true. Actually, we'll get people to upload pictures of their answers. It might be easier. Yeah, the Kahoot and the stream lag is a hassle, but Zoom doesn't have the same lag. So, like if we do Kahoots, I can always shift it across. But I haven't got one on the cards for today. Just for now, just finish off writing up your answers. It's quite long, Like if you're sitting in an exam, it's almost like 20 minutes of exam time. Okay, so I'll give you a decent chunk just to, I don't know, just try and focus your mind on this and do what you can. No, no, I've come back now. Um, yeah, I'll tell you what, my hero. After you take care of this, we'll spend a bit of time talking about the virus and stuff like that. Yeah, it's quite a long answer. Um, I don't even know who is Sin Boy. Who sells? I think there's someone else with a strange name as well. Where have they gone? Oh, that's Daniel. Okay. Um, the test, yeah, the test is still planned to be paper, but it's just how we're going to get the timing of that done. Um, we'll just see. It's possible that we could do it like as an education perfect one. Yeah, no, it wouldn't work that way. If we did it on paper, we'd have to wait until school started up again. If we did it on Education Perfect, then I guess it can happen anytime, right? Oh yeah, there's like a wood chipper right outside in my neighbour's place. I don't know if you can hear that or not. It's kind of annoying. I'm just trying together a quick little like model answer for you guys. That's why I'm not in chat. Um, yeah, so school is shut. There'll be an email coming out. Okay, so school won't be open tomorrow or Wednesday, and the school holidays start on Thursday. So I guess that means is that we're doing this for the next couple of days, which is fine because I don't know. I guess we can make it work. I'll try and get Zoom going so we can do some cahoots tonight next time. How about that? It means that we're not doing a test this week. Obviously, we'll sort that out later on, so don't stress about it. Yeah, but probably most people are getting close to. All right, you finished writing. What I'll do is I'll make a little post. I'll post like a assignment. Venus flytrap word score, and what you should be able to do is genetics. Um, you should be able to upload a picture of it. So in your assignment, you should be able to insert document or something like that, and then choose a photo of your of what you've written. Survive the change. All right. So most people have finished writing. Yes, it's we're living in strange times. Um, it's not really the most ideal situation. Let me bring my camera back up. Where am I? There I am. Okay, no worries, Aurora. I kind of figured that there will be a few people that will be in that situation. Um, I'm not sure. Did you get? Um, okay, I received an email from Miss Mills, deputy principal. It said there's going to be a communication coming out as soon as possible. Okay, and I'm sure there'll be one that will come your way too. Alrighty. I very quickly just typed this thing. So just to I don't know if you wanted to have a look at my answer and your answer. This is kind of where I think where things are heading. I put way more in the middle block because Danielle's been falling asleep. I put way more in the middle block because um, just because. Okay. In fact, there's actually a piece missing there. I'm just going to put it as when dot 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 dot, and I won't type it out for now. Can I spell? Yes, I can spell. Okay. Thank you. So the beginning of this is like, what is sexual reproduction? Okay, two new organisms produced from the combination of gametes from two parents. All right. I guess what I could add on that, the offspring inherits 50% of their DNA from each parent. Okay, that's one set of chromosomes. Yeah, Rain, you might as well. You have to like take a picture and upload it. If you wrote it digitally, then I guess you just upload that file. Yeah. And then I don't know. Next lesson, I might just like put them all in a big folder, share the whole folder with everyone, and then you can kind of like compare them. That's right, Shelby. Don't worry about it. Okay. The offspring inherits 50% of their DNA from each parent. So that's like a general sort of opening about what is sexual reproduction, like a definition. Okay. And then we're explaining stuff here. Sexual reproduction, we've got meiosis and fertilization. Okay, and meiosis has got a couple of things going on, right? Okay, you've got the crossing over when alleles are swapped between homologous chromosomes, so matching chromosomes. Okay, and then we have all independent assortment, where each pair of homologous chromosomes is randomly shuffled, so each gamete gets one of the set. Okay, if you add those two together, that the gametes are genetically different from each other. We could say that the pair of alleles for every gene have basically just been randomly shuffled. Okay, you just pick in one of the alleles for eye color at random from the two, chucking it into one gamete, the other one gets the other one, and then the next gene, one of them at random goes to that one, and the other one goes to that one. Okay, and I haven't done the fertilization section, okay, as in typed it, okay, but the idea of fertilization is that you get variation because if you get someone who inherits 50% of their DNA from each parent, that means they are different from both of those two parents. Okay. Also, fertilization involves any two gametes from the parents at complete random. So there's many different combinations of all the millions of sperm and all the thousands of eggs. So that means there's lots of different individuals that could be formed. Okay, and then it's important because if there's a change in the environment, hopefully there'll be some individuals who carry alleles that will allow them to survive that change. Okay, it means the whole species won't die out, but it also means the survivors reproduce and can pass on the alleles that allow them to survive the change. Okay, so if you look at what the species look like before the change, and then the change happens, then you look at the species afterwards, you would say now the species can survive in that new environment, whereas before they mostly couldn't. So they've adapted, they've changed to suit the new environment. Okay, so that's basically what it was. I don't know what the score is for this one here, but if you could upload your ones into Classroom and just press the turn in button so I know it's done. So Venus Flytrap word score, 6 people have turned in. Some others still need to flick your things in. Oh, the pictures have come through pretty well, actually. Yeah, nice one. Okay, and yep, 7 people turned in. Good, good. And I guess the final thing could be you might as well just take care of this thing here. Yep, 9 people turned in. Excellent. Um, the last job for this topic, on the slide I've got on the screen. So in your notes file, genetics notes, it's the very last page, and it says fill in final sections about how low genetic variation can be a problem in these things. I think you might have started typing in some of the stuff on our last lesson on Friday, okay? But the answers are all going to be quite similar to each other. Um, but the low genetic variation is caused by a different thing. Okay. Yeah, Rain. If you want to just retype it as a doc and then send it up, that's fine. But find the section of your notes file. Remember, the endangered species is like the kakapo. So they are sexually reproducing, but there aren't very many parents that are actually alive to make new individuals. Selectively bred populations, that's like the cows. Yeah. So many of our dairy cows actually come from the same father because that's the particular bull that was used to breed them. Bananas are asexually reproducing because that's what they do. Their seeds don't grow. That's just why we can eat the whole thing. Okay. So the beginning of these, the reason for the low variation is different, but the rest of the answer is actually the same story 3 times over. Okay. So I'll get you guys to type out some stuff inside that. The section on the notes. Good question. I will bring up the notes on my other screen. I'm pretty sure it's whatever section is like right at the bottom. Let me see. Meiosis mutations. Okay. It is the last thing. Examples involving genetic variation. Probably last or second to last page, depending on how it's moved down. So I'll give you a few moments to bring up that doc and start typing stuff in there. Stella, yeah, you just answer the slide. Oh, hey, Dominic, do you just join? Um, is it our strength on the topic because it's the very last thing? I don't think so. I think that it's always the strength because this part is quite common sense based, whereas a lot of bits, nice one, Arno, a lot of other bits, like you have to really know the words really well to answer a question well, and I think a lot of students struggle with that. So you keep handing in. Oh yeah, 11 people handed in. Good job. Right. I've got an assistant to help us. Yeah, Stella. So the question's on the slide that's on my screen. So it is, why is the how low genetic variation causes a problem with those things. So like, where does the variation, why is it low in the first place? And what could that mean for like the species? Yeah, so I'm gonna check the slide. Okay. Oh, okay, no problems, Dominic. Yep. So that is your question for each one of those. Let me bring it back. Yeah, this is the new student teacher. This cat is Jones, and it's not named after Mr. Jones. Someone said that to me once. Okay, Noah. So let me I'll tell you what. I'll bring it up on the screen. Yoink. Okay, so I'm in genetics variation notes. Still remember this thing? All the stuff already done. Right at the very bottom, meiosis, variation, genetic variation. Importance genetic examples. Okay, so there. You got that? Yeah, Mr. Jones. The reason why he's Jones is because you guys probably haven't seen them because they're pretty old school. Um, there were some like sci-fi movies called Alien and Aliens from way back, and they had a cat who looked exactly like this one. And I really like those movies, so I chose that. Oh, good, you got that. Yeah, Dominic. So what will happen is that you're going to get an email about that pretty soon. Um, my understanding for this is that it's going to be um, we will have online classes still tomorrow and Wednesday, and then the school holidays begin on Thursday. And on Thursday is when we hit the whole country. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the movie. Yeah, yeah. That cat was Jones. Um, the whole country is going to be alert level 4, which means like massive shutdown apart from core services. And it means that you guys need to stay home. Um, the only exceptions to that is getting medicine and groceries, and going outside to do your own personal exercise, right? So you can go for a walk or a run or something like that, but you go by yourself. Yeah, he's a lab assistant. Yep, there it is. Yeah, Stella, you can still go outside. You just can't associate with people that aren't in your own house, basically, which still kind of sucks. But yeah, you can at least leave the house and like go for a walk or a run or whatever, um, which is something. Um, if you went there with other, if you're there by yourself, Jaden, you're fine. But you shouldn't just be meeting up with people to play basketball. So you can go down and like shoot the hoops and stuff like that. But um, you don't play with anyone else. And it's a 4 week thing. That's what it is at the moment. And hopefully that 4 weeks is going to be all we need. As I mean, as bad as it sounds, and as difficult as it sounds, it's going to be. We are better off than other places because they waited for easily a couple of weeks further than where we are before they shut things down. So they've just got a lot more sickness. There's a lot of people who have caught the disease, and it's just going out of control in those countries. So if we do this, we've got something like 102 cases. Yeah, that's right, Stella. So there's 102 cases, and that number's going to go up for about the next week. So about midday or about 1:30, they seem to do like the coronavirus update, and so it'll go up to probably 150 tomorrow, and then it'll be 200 the next day. It'll keep on going up, and that's because people have already caught the disease from others we know about, but they're not sick yet. So the numbers are going to get bad. So when you hear about it, it's just like it's getting worse, it's going to get getting worse, getting worse. But hopefully, in about a week, the numbers stop going up, and then they will level off for a while and go down. So that's just what we've got to hope for. And the fact that it is still a small number means that it hopefully won't go up that high. But I mean, no one knows, right? I mean, we've been pretty lucky with diseases um, in the past. Like you guys probably wouldn't have heard much about them, but there was a disease called SARS. It was about like 2002 or 2003 or something like that, and it started and it was spreading. It seemed to be spreading really fast, and it was a lot like this one, but um, not really sure about the exact situation. But it just sort of stopped spreading on its own, and I think it was related to the fact that the area it was in when the seasons changed, the virus didn't survive very well, something like that. So even though it seemed like it might spread across the whole world, it didn't. Whereas this one here, I mean, it has. It's happened before, like at the end of World War One, there was a Spanish flu that was really, really bad, and they had to change rules around how people act and what they're allowed to do and that sort of thing. And they did that, and now, you know, we things got back to normal. So it will get back to normal. Hopefully, it takes 4 weeks to get back to normal for us. Endangered species, Noah. So the main problem with the endangered species is that because there are hardly any parents alive to reproduce, even though they're sexually reproducing, they can't actually be, there is not a lot of variation because they're limited by the parents' alleles. And of course, this means that there may be a future environmental change that no one has the alleles to be able to survive. So the endangered species gets wiped out. Did everyone get their uploads done? Jess and Danny and Jaden and Aurora and Amy. You guys want to take a picture of what you've written, or you upload the Google file or something? That'd be awesome. Yep, no worries, no worries, Reno. Buy that through. You want a cat? Yeah. If two kids that had corona had a kid when they still had corona, would the child have it too? Um, if you think back to what we did in Year 10 science, like in the reproduction, so for the first 9 months of, since conception, there's 9 months where the fetus is growing inside the mother's uterus, and the the two blood supplies are separate, but the stuff moving between them, um, the if the mother had the virus, then it would be in her body. It would probably be moving through her blood supply, and it could probably get across to the fetus. I think I read something where it said that it was where some children, and they know when they know the mother has got it, when the children are born, they test the children. Some are getting a positive test, some are getting a negative one, so it's a bit of a random thing. Abby, in terms of the virus, I mean, dominant and recessive is an idea that belongs to like your own genes. So the dominant allele and the recessive allele. The virus is a separate entity, right? It doesn't belong in part of the body, okay? And the the virus can move from one person to the other person through through transmission. It's on one person's hand and they touch the other person, or they touch the door handle and the other person touches it. So dominant and recessive don't really fit in with the virus, and it's because the virus isn't a feature of that person's DNA. It's an outside invader. Humans have genetic variation for corona. I think we probably do. I think some people probably won't get it. I think they found that in Japan, where it spread through through Wuhan really fast because they didn't really know what it was, and maybe they didn't respond to it as fast as they could have. I don't know, but I think some people there who were surrounded by sick people actually never got it. So there's probably a certain slither of the population that can't get it. Um, but I don't know how big that piece is. It'd be good if it was like half the population actually couldn't catch it or something, because that would mean that would mean half as many sick people when it came down to it. But I don't know. I don't know what the number is. Yeah. What what's what's going to be really important for everyone from now on is that without a vaccine, it's really hard to fight a virus. Um, oh no, it's on Classroom. Okay, look for the Venus flytrap word score on Classroom. If you're typing into your notes file, well then it just stays in your own notes file. You mean answers for the slide? We can probably worry about answers at the beginning of the next lesson, actually, for this particular slide here. But it's really hard to fight a. Did I just pause it? I didn't mean to do that. It's really hard to fight a virus without a vaccine. The flu vaccine is really good at stopping the flu from spreading a lot, but there's no coronavirus vaccine. So people are working all over the world to try and get that. And once we get that, um, then the problem is gone, basically. But it takes time to get that, so it's kind of hard to say what's going to happen for the next little while. Yeah, we'll do this answers for the slide start next lesson. Yeah, yeah, and that's pretty much us, guys. Um, so there's going to be an email, I imagine, coming out very soon um, about exactly what the school is going to do. But my understanding, in fact, is possibly there already. Yep, closed tomorrow as of 4 weeks. Okay, that's interesting. These 4 weeks are classified as holidays. No work has been set, so your holidays essentially start tomorrow. So I won't talk to you guys for a little while, actually. Um, which I guess is good for you guys, because I mean, you don't have to worry about doing any schoolwork, right? Try and stay sane. Keep the exercise, but remember, like, don't go into your mate's house. As tempting as it is, you want to go outside, play basketball with someone, go for a skate with someone, go somewhere. Um, yeah, okay, Aaron, I'll do that. Yep. But you just got to follow the quarantine because it doesn't work if not everyone follows it. And not sure at this stage, I know about catch-up weeks. We'll just take it as it comes. Okay. Remember, there's been bad stuff that's happened in history. Um, at one point it was one button press away from the whole world being blown up by nuclear bombs. When the Spanish flu happened, World War One, World War Two, all this stuff has happened in the past, and it's all been bad. But the thing is that the bad thing doesn't last forever. So there is going to be another side to it. It's just that in the meantime, stuff is going to be complicated for us, and we just have to do what we can. Okay, remember, the tough times won't last, but the tough people will. So just be tough, follow the rules, and like look after the people that you have an influence on. So the people in your house, just stay together, stay sane, and look after each other. And I mean, I'll see you in a few weeks at this stage. All right, guys. Hoping for the best.